Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to do the horizontal herringbone stitch. There are a couple different types of herringbone stitch, so just make sure that if you are working a pattern and it's calling for the horizontal herringbone stitch that this is the one that you use. So let's go ahead and get started. The herringbone stitch, this horizontal one, is worked in multiples of 2, and we are going to start off our first row, and we are going to knit the first stitch. So we're going to knit 1, okay, and then we are going to do a SKPO, and this is slipping 1 knitwise. So I'm going to insert my needle like I was going to knit it, but I'm going to slip it off my needle. Then we're going to knit 1, and we're going to take this stitch that we slipped and we are going to pass it back over. But before we drop this slipped stitch off of our left hand needle, we are going to knit into the back of it. So a regular stitch we knit into the front, and we're going to knit through the back loop, which means we're going to go in back here, and we are going to knit this. Now let me fix this stitch here because it got pulled apart. There we go. Okay, so we are going to do this again. So we are going to slip this stitch as if we're knitting it. We are going to knit the next stitch, pass the slip stitch over the knitted one, but without dropping it off the left hand needle, we're going to knit back into the back loop of that stitch. Again, slip as if to knit, knit our next stitch, pass the slip stitch over, and without dropping it, we are going to knit into the back loop of that slipped stitch. And what that does is that keeps the same number of stitches throughout, because when you're slipping a stitch or passing a stitch over top, that is a decrease. So we want to make sure that we're creating another stitch to make up for our decrease. So we're going to slip this one as if to knit, knit the next stitch, pass our slip stitch over, and without dropping it, knit into the back loop. And when you get to your last stitch, you're going to knit this one. So we're going to turn our work. Now on our wrong side, we're going to begin by purling 2 together. But without slipping those off of our needle, I'm going to go back into just this first one, and I'm going to purl it again. And now we can slip those off. Okay, so let's do this again. We're going to purl 2 together, but without sliding them off the left-hand needle, I'm going to go back into that first stitch again and purl that one again. And then you can slide them off the left-hand needle. Again, purl 2 together without sliding them off, go back into the first stitch and purl that one again. just into our first stitch, purl it again, slide them off, and you're going to work this one all the way to the end. Oops. And you can see how our herringbone pattern is shaping up. You're going to repeat these 2 rows for as long as you want your piece to be.